All right, welcome to our last party with a purpose. We wanted to end, it was kind of perfect timing that we were this last Tuesday was the first of the month, because in my brain it's like, all right, we finished this long series, but like now it's time to turn a corner and it's like new beginnings and fresh eyes. Like there's this thing that can happen. I don't know if you guys do this at all, but where you like have this thing where you just absorb information and don't actually like put the information into action. Like I say this as like someone who's done that. Like it's my like incessant like listening of podcasts, right? Like maybe I'll listen to like a ton of Kristen Boss podcasts. I'm like, oh my gosh, it's so awesome. And I feel really good about myself, but I'm just consuming information versus like putting the information to work. And this is where the magic happens. It's when you take the information that you received and you're like, okay, what are some practical action steps that I can take to put into my business to actually put this information to good use? Because it's a lot of great information, but you can absorb all the good information in the world. And if you don't do something with it, it almost seems like it's falling on deaf ears. Like it didn't make a difference. So our goal is to give you the information so it can make a difference in your business. Like that was our goal all along, to make sure that you had what you needed to go out and put feet to pavement, whether it's actual feet to pavement, walking in someone's door, or virtual feet to pavement, having a party online, and for you to actually do that. So I know we heard along the way people talking about different things that they have done, but we really wanted to open up the call. Just hearing from you guys, because we've talked a lot this past month. So we would love to hear, what are some of your wins from this month? And it could be literally anything, guys. It could be, I booked my first in-home party in a couple years, or I took the time to do some customer follow-up for people that have had parties open in my back office for a long time. I'm sorry, my cat is freaking out, and I promise I'll stop. I'll get her out of here in a second, but she's crazy and scratching at the door. So I'd love for you guys to unmute and just share, like, what would be something that you feel like would be a win from this month? Don't be shy, friends.
I'll go first. I actually have a teacher from the new building that I've been in. I've been in a new building all year teaching second grade. And I had a teacher approach me because I was the cleaning fairy yesterday for Halloween with my class. And I've been talking to people all about it. And I actually had somebody approach me in the hall yesterday. She was like, so this Norwex stuff that you talk about a lot with, I've heard it with a lot of people, that some people know and some people don't. Do you do like online parties and stuff?
Yeah, sure.
Yes.
Do I? Do
Right?
I?
I was like, yes, I will check my calendar tonight, because of course I was in the middle of class and I wasn't thinking about that kind of a thing. But she was like, let's talk dates. And I was like, I will look at my calendar tonight and get with you at the staff meeting in the morning. So there we go.
Allison, you guys, people want to hear what you have to say. People are curious about Norwex. People want to know. So the minute you get in your head and you think, no one wants to hear about it, I shouldn't post about it, I shouldn't talk about it, you are wrong. And don't let anybody get in your head and let anybody tell you that you're posting too much, talking too much. You're not. People want to know. Good job, Allison. I'm proud of you.
That's awesome.
Anybody else? Well, Jessica, I'm looking at you. You don't have to unmute if you don't want, but I know she's got a baby at home, but do you want to share your win?
Okay. Hi. So I did a couple different things. Like this just kind of like was a fresh restart for me, like re-energized me. And so I did a Facebook party with Ashley's Format, which is awesome. And the hostess coaching, I did Project Broadcast, and that was the first time I did that. And so that really helped with hostess coaching. And my host was a little discouraged at first because she had way fewer people join than what she normally has, but probably 75 or 80% of those 12 people all purchased. Mm-hmm. And so even though like it was a smaller group, it was a way higher, I don't know if you'd say a return rate, but
yeah,
interest. And then I had bookings out of that too. So everybody who joined was interested. And so that was worth it.
Awesome.
But then I've jumped in and I'm doing my first in-home party this weekend. So we'll see how that goes.
Yay. I mean,
That's awesome.
right? That's what we wanted. A re-energization? That's not, is that a word? I'm not sure.
Recharge. I don't know.
Recharge.
Can be. We can make it a word. Yeah.
Word.
Yeah, it's a word.
That's what
I'm
we wanted.
curious, Jessica, for those who you know, are like, oh, okay, like what did she do with that? Like, how did you interject yourself? Like, do you want to maybe share a little bit more? Did you just copy paste, not do anything extra? Like, talk people through, like, we have this awesome resource, but how did you then put it into your own party?
I did a lot of copy and pasting. I have a little one, and so it saved me a ton of time, but I did tweak some of it to sound more like me. And I kind of had so Katie recruited me, but I actually had a different consultant who just wasn't recruiting at the time who put me in touch with Katie, and she had given me her entire outline. So I had all of her stuff when I started, plus everything I find on these resource pages. And so mine teeny was just kind of messy. And I'd been looking for a way to streamline it and simplify it. And yours just gave a lot of good direction in that. I talked to Katie before about implementing videos, but I had done too much of that. And so yours was a perfect balance and just guide, at least for me, in how to balance that out.
Awesome.
I did add a few of my favorite things in there, like you had suggested, that kind of thing. I went live. I had the flu. I had no voice, but I still went live. I just whispered at the beginning and was like, I'm just going to show y'all, not talk through it. And it was fine. So it still works. So.
That's awesome. Congratulations.
Thank you.
So, next thing will be anything to me to do throughout the
Who is that?
That was Jessica.
Oh, okay.
That's awesome. Any other wins or things that you tried different that you're excited to share about?
It's Corey. My screen is frozen again. My camera just doesn't work properly for whatever reason after the first 5 minutes. So I'm really excited because I did start at the very end, January 31st of 2021. So my first month was February 2021. And we were still in the midst of pandemic and whatnot. But I also booked my very first in-home party, and it's scheduled for November 10th. So I'm very, very excited. So it hasn't happened yet, but I'm really excited. I'm doing my host coaching now, and she seems really excited. I also didn't have any parties on the books. And so I did a no wallet party in my VIP group and went live every day and did giveaways and focused on the Safe Haven 5, and then gave them a poll question about which one they wanted me to focus on, either bathroom, kitchen, or laundry. And laundry and bathroom kind of were neck and neck. So I did bathroom first, but went ahead and touched on laundry as well. And I don't have any confirmed bookings out of it, but I'm still pushing for them to earn their wish list for free. That was the point of my no wallet, was don't buy anything, let me help you win it for free. So I'm hoping this week that I'll end up with some bookings as well.
Yay.
That's awesome.
I love the attitude. That was and the mindset. That was great.
So many bookings happen in the follow-up. In particular, in an online setting, don't forget that. Don't forget to, if you don't get anything right away, so much happens in the follow-up.
Yeah.
I did my first multi-host party on Facebook in over a year and a half.
Yay!
And so I had it booked before you guys did your week of Facebook party training. So I had already had all my stuff set up. So I just didn't change it this time, but I'm going to tweak for next month. But I had 3 hosts and got 3 bookings, and they all ranged in, you could tell who did what for host coaching, but it kind of gave my confidence back, because I got out of Facebook parties in 2021 because they were not going anywhere. So, but yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's a long game. Good
It
for
really
you,
is.
Jennifer. Good for you.
I was just on my weekly coaching for Mastermind with Kristen Boss, and she was coaching someone through trying something and then not repeating it because it didn't work out or things changed. And she said that there's something that can happen in our brains where if we try something and it doesn't work the first time, or we tried a couple times and it doesn't, we don't get we've put this expectation that doesn't happen, that something happens in our brain where we feel like there's a resistance to doing it again because we feel like we're going to fail. But honestly, when it comes to anything in life, especially in this business, there's a repetitive action that needs to happen over and over and over again for you to find long-term success. So I love that you tried that again, Jennifer, because it can be like a little bit spirit killing, when you try something, you were successful at one point. I mean, let's be honest, all of us were crazy successful in 2020 when that was an insane time that nobody could ever have predicted was going to happen. And then 2021 rolled around and things started leveling out, and we had to start doing things a little bit different to get the same type of business. Having that consistency in your business. And so all that to say, guys, if you go out and you book an in-home party and it doesn't pan out super great, I'm going to encourage you to not let your brain go to the place where it's like, oh, well, I guess I can't do in-home parties. Or let's say you do your first multi-host and it's not, you're expecting, you just put these expectations on it of what it's going to look like, and it doesn't exactly hit that arbitrary expectation that you put on for yourself. Give something a really solid amount of time, a repetitive action, maybe book in homes for 6 months before you decide whether or not they're the thing for you. So I love that you did that, Jennifer. That persistence makes a huge difference, and it's gonna make a difference in your business too.
My business coach would say, what makes you think that you have to be an expert the first time? What makes you think you're going to be an expert the first time? Even with our 30-day goal in the beginning, you start your business in 30 days. 30 days isn't enough time to become an expert. In this business, you can be doing it for a year, 2 years before you can consider yourself an expert. So it's that stick-to-itiveness. It really
I would also just say, even when you are an expert, when you feel like you've been doing it a long time and you're an expert at something, there's going to be something else to master. And I would even say you might have to master it again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like entrepreneurship, especially in this industry, is a lot about being willing to start again and start again and start again and start again and start again, and recognizing that you're never starting from the first place that you started, right? You're always gaining the ground, but it's that repetitive action of you have to be willing to try it again.
Yeah, that's good, Maddie.
And not be the expert.
Yeah. Yep. Be willing to fail. Get curious. Be an observer. Be willing, be open. I just read a quote the other day that said, closed people don't grow. When you're closed off, no, it wasn't closed. Certain people don't grow. People who are certain don't grow.
So good.
Yeah.
I think either of those could work. Yeah.
We have goals for you guys. We've got things, we have dreams, we have vision for what we want this team to be. We want to create a culture of recruiting, and we want to create a culture of you're partying, you're making money, honey, because if this was free, I don't think we'd be doing this, right? We're here to make money, and there's no shame in that.
Yeah.
So let's own that and go for it. Wouldn't it be great if this wasn't just a hobby? Wouldn't that hobbies cost you money? Careers earn you money. Wouldn't it be great if you could earn some good money? You could get your time back. You could get your freedom back. You can get your priorities. You can have time to, Norwex can be a vehicle for the things that you really love. So we are implementing a weekly call, and we're calling it our Tuesday growth call. And we're starting it next week. and it's going to be 7:30 to coincide with Debbie's 8 o'clock call that happens twice a month. So the idea is that you guys come, it's going to be a half an hour. We're going to spend the first few minutes with some training topic or something that's on our minds, or it's something seasonal or something we're working on or that kind of thing. And then we do have specific topics in mind. We want to help you move the needle. So the next part of the call is going to be Q&A, so open. And we want you to commit to this the way that we're committing to it. Our little tagline is show up to grow up. Maybe you've heard that before. Wherever you put your focus is what grows. So we want you to commit to this call. If you want to grow, you want to be on this call. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Mhm.
And we're also going to incorporate some opportunity events into the call as well to keep it consistent. So you can mark your calendar 7:30 Central Time every single Tuesday. It'll be all of us or a combination of us being on this call, your Black Jacket leaders. And the Tuesdays of Debbie's call, at least one of those Tuesday, we're going to turn it into an opportunity call where you can invite potentials to come, and we'll have a different format, and we'll always let you know like way ahead of time so you know which one it is. If it's the first, we'll have that decided, the first opportunity Debbie call of the month, that will be our opportunity call. But we really want these 30 minutes that at least to be about you guys and your growth and your questions. When you're showing up weekly to a call like this, you're going to come ready to learn. You're going to come ready to ask questions and hopefully discuss things that are going good, that are going, that you're struggling with, questions that you might have. I want you guys to come every week prepared to ask a question because when you do that, when you commit to yourself and say, okay, yes, I'm going to ask a question about my business. It means that you're putting thought and effort into your business from that Tuesday to Tuesday. And guys, I'm not saying that you have to do, 6 hours a day. Taking that time throughout the week to say, what's going good in my business? What could I grow in? What could I do? What could I do more of? What could I do less of even, these things that we need to have these discussions. But if we're just like, if we don't have a place to connect and ask questions about it, sometimes it can feel a little bit aimless. So we want to have this as like an anchor point in your business where okay, no matter what's going on, every single Tuesday I can come and connect with my leaders. And there's no shame. I can ask all the questions. And I guarantee you, if you have the question, someone else has it as well. So definitely come weekly ready to absorb a few minutes of training and also kind of lay it all out there and ask questions.
I'm super excited about this. I really, you guys, we know what can happen when you commit. We know what can happen when you show up to this kind of stuff. We know what can happen when you start recruiting and you learn the tools to do so, and then you go out and you do it and you say the words that we talked about here. And then you bring those people to these calls and they learn and they get the benefit of this community. So what we want to do is grow a community here and grow. We want all of your mindsets we want you all to have leader mindsets. I want you to be thinking like a leader, thinking like a business person. Even if you're nobody's leader anywhere ever, right? No, I never recruited a person. I still want you to be a leader. Learn the things, give your 2 cents, help each other out. I think this is gonna be really good.
Ashley, did you want to talk a little bit about what Katie Tarr talked about?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nope. But I know the gist of it, so I'll just go for it.
Yeah.
So we have a training, and we can always expand on this if people are interested in it. But we had a opportunity to kind of learn and take some notes from a fellow Black Jacket. She was one of the messenger trainers, messenger group trainers. She subscribes. This is someone to follow on social media. No Shame Sales Game.
Mhm.
And so she has a much more affordable, like coaching kind of style grouping of people that that she's a part of. And they had a training on there that talked about the importance of making sure, I gotta find, I wanna like, I'm gonna mess this up. That focused on explaining to her team the important, Katie Tarr, Tarr, the importance of training to her team that you don't have to be a master of both parties. And
Uh-oh, you muted.
Yeah, how'd you get mute?
why is this happening to me? It's so dumb. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, so dumb. So it's not necessarily necessary to both work on parties and the social selling aspects. Parties truly are the work smarter, not harder option, because at the end of the day, we like social selling and, you know, networking yourself on Reels and TikTok and whatever thing else. It's a long game. It's not an instant gratification type thing. It is a long game where you have to be constantly on your A game, constantly growing your warm market, which is great and can do incredible things. But at the end of the day, she found that a lot of her team was watching her, who she has a really great presence on social media. Can you also do the @NoShameSalesGame, Brooke? For Instagram.
Yep.
She found that her team and her leaders were watching her grow her social media presence, especially on Instagram. And her parties were suffering. Their parties were suffering, excuse me. It confused their team because the fact that like, oh, I'm supposed to be a social media master, but I also like, I'm not making money from this quite yet. So I have to also do the party side of things. And so it's a really, and there's more to it, but essentially this training shows you that you don't have to be a social media master. You can just do your parties and make a very sustainable income. And at the end of the day, you're not having to work as hard as if you were to build your social media empire. The
reality is that almost all of your top group, like we didn't start out on social media. We grew our businesses in parties.
Yep.
Like social media is awesome. Social selling is awesome, but it's just another funnel for leads to get into parties. It's not the parties.
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, like I will say this until I'm blue in the face, guys, like parties is how I built my income and parties is where I will continue to build my income. Like I don't want to be that person that always has to rely on a network. Like I want people to bring me their network. Like that's where I want to grow. And so she really broke it down as far as like the time. And again, we can look into if this is something that interests you and you're like, I don't want to be an expert in social media. It doesn't come natural to me. Great. You don't have to be. Don't feel the need to do all the things that you see leaders do, other people in the company do. Like go with what works for you and do that. I was telling them yesterday when we were doing our planning for it, I do use social media, but Jamie will know this more than anyone else. Like I make videos in my reels to use in my parties and VIP group. That is where I mainly do it because I want to keep making sure that my my video and my presence in my parties is constantly moving, kind of changing. But I have like hundreds of drafts that I never even post, and I just screen record them and load into parties and download because they'll be more specific. It'll be, you know, free gift with a booking, things like that. And I use it because Reels has a lot of really awesome features to it. I use it for my personal use to grow my parties, or repurpose them then for cleaning clubs and whatever else. So all that to say, if it doesn't come naturally to you, it doesn't have to. Right. You don't have to build an empire on social media. You can do parties. It's a work smarter, not harder option.
I think our first week should be that. Let's cover that a little bit more in depth next week and talk about the ways that you can use social media and still mostly focus on parties, but use social media for fun and to educate your people, to serve your people, not the masses. Does that sound good?
if you want to too, like this, that's the whole thing. Like that's like, you don't have to have a social media presence to have a successful business. And I know there's a lot of noise right now especially if you do spend time on Instagram and stuff, where there are even companies out there that are like saying things like the party is dead and that this is the future of selling. I mean, it's not. Like Norwex is doing just dang fine with what we're doing. You totally can go down that route if you like to, if it's fun for you or if you have the time. But in our business right now in particular, if your goal is income and in your pocket, like next month, parties is how you make money in this business.
Yep.
That's it. That's how you make money. So
And I don't know did we talk about this, how Morgan Peitzman, who she did mastermind the last round, and how she specifically talked about like people in, this mastermind, these, 6-figure plus earners are coming to her, asking her like, how can I make a party? Like, I don't have the party option, but I see the value.
Yeah.
Like, these are people that are very successful in network marketing.
Yep.
That are asking her, how can I make a party?
Yeah.
I had people asking me that makes multiple 6 figures, like how they can do a buying club and a cleaning club, and they can't do it because they're not party plan. There's no host rewards. So like we have an amazing like plan for as far as host goes. There really isn't a better one out there, truly, as far as host rewards go. A couple others rival, but not nearly as good. And those companies, their consultants don't make as much money as we do on commissions. So not only do we have a really solid commission base, like so you can make great money on your party, your hosts consistently get equal amounts of product that you get in commission or more. So it's really we have a solid plan as far as that goes, and it's the best way to make consistent money in your business. Once you're making consistent money with a party, if your waters are muddied right now and you're doing 17 different things because you're trying to make money in these different areas, I mean, us as your leaders will tell you need to zone in.
Yep.
You need to zone in on what our company is founded on, which is the party. Now, clearly you can party in 7,000 different ways, but that's where your focus needs to be.
Yeah, it truly is the bread and butter. Totally. Yep.
Yeah. Okay, so that will be next week. We'll dive deeper into that. So Corey, unmute and tell me a little bit more what you're asking.
So during the Zoom call that we did for the in-home parties, you guys shared like 3 little snippets that Katie was very excited to say, go and watch the full thing, go watch the full thing. So I'm just looking for the full thing.
So do you mean from in-home week or from Zoom and Messenger week?
In-home.
Okay, so the in-home week, there was only 2 videos and those were shared. The first one was on Sunday. We're going to have the link tree updated real soon, but if you search in-home, just search in-home on any one of the team pages. And I know that it was shared on Sunday, Wednesday, and I believe Thursday and Friday. And I posted that week. So
perfect. I'll go check it out. Thank you.
You should be yep, you got it. But we'll have all of the stuff updated shortly.
So each week we did share little snippets during our call, and then we all went on to share those full videos. Yes.
Yes.
I mean, yeah. So I'm just double checking. I'm just going back to look. Yes, that link tree will be ready soon. But until then, go to the whatever team page you're plugged into, and you might have to search a little bit.
In-home.
I just tagged Corey in one of them.
Okay, thank you. Laura Little, one of the videos.
Tara Amalut. Yeah, I was just searching their name.
Tara Amalut.
Okay.
Okay.
Got it.
All right. Any questions for this week, guys?
actually have one about the link tree while we're on the subject.
Yeah.
You had said we should bookmark it, and I didn't see an option to bookmark, but there was a subscribe. Is that what you meant?
When you subscribe, then you'll get a notification when we update it. But bookmarking would just be in your web browser. A web browser.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Save
But
as favorite. Yeah.
saving the link tree as a favorite though,
Yeah.
Yes.
not
So
through
the team-
Facebook, but just
Yes.
Linktree
save the-
separately.
Yep. So like, you can create like categories and like
Right,
folders
right.
on your browser.
Yeah, no, I
So,
just thought you meant somehow to bookmark it in Facebook, so.
No. Yeah.
Okay.
Right.
It'll always be like, you're gonna get sick of us sharing it. Like it's gonna be shared like all the time. But if you bookmark it or have it as a favorites in your web browser, or even like on your phone, you can probably create, you can create like a quick reference like on your home screen. But if you do subscribe, then you'll get notifications when we make updates. I think we lost Tanya.
I didn't know that. Good to know.
Mhm.
I didn't know that either.
Thank you.
You got it.
These are good questions. Well, let's wrap it up for the week. Thanks guys for being on, and put it in your calendar, 7:30 Central, Tuesday growth call. We'll be promoting the crap out of it. You can be sure it'll be in your face. You'll know about it, but work it in as part of your week. Invite your team members, invite your friends, invite your friends in the business, who are on our teams, invite your cross lines, that kind of thing. We just want to build community, and we want to answer questions, and we want to have a weekly touch point that actually helps you. So.
Yes, ma'am.
Awesome.
Thank you guys so much for hanging out with us this past month. It was really, really good. I loved it. I saw light bulbs in your guys' eyes, which is why I love in-home parties. It's just being able to see those light bulbs light up. Like, our hope and prayer is that you guys like put the pedal to the metal and like go do the dang thing.
Yeah. Yeah. And
Okay.
I would love to, that you guys that are on, like reach out to your closest leader. And I would love to hear what your goals are for the end of the year. We talked a lot about goals. So what is that? Is it, pay for Christmas debt-free? Is it to have 2 parties on your calendar next month? Like, we have 2 full months left of this year. And, traditionally, our sales go up as well. So there are parties to be had and sales to be made. And you guys showing up here week after week shows me that you want something out of this business. And it shows me that you're willing to try new things and take risks and be scared and do things when they're messy and difficult. So there is something pretty amazing when you write a goal down and verbalize it to someone. So we would love to hear those. So that's my challenge for either next week, come to us ready to share your goal. Or if you can't be on next week, shoot a text to your leader so we can hear it, and we can ask how to support you best in that process. So
Love it.
okay.
Guys, thank you.
Thanks guys. Love to you all.
Bye, guys.
Bye. See you next
Bye.
Tuesday.